In the 1999 action sports Disney Channel original movie Johnny Tsunami, a young surfer trades the sun-bleached sand for moon-drenched powder after his dad moves the family for a new teaching position. Before long, Johnny finds himself in the middle of a class war. The preppy skiers and the urchins, which is Disney speak for poor kids, face off, dividing the mountain resort down the middle, each faction taking half for themselves. In 2001 snowboarding game Dark Summit, a similar line in the sand is drawn. You play on the side of the snowboarders as Naya, a boarder whose reasoning for being on the slopes goes a bit deeper than shredding some newly laid snow. Naya is a recruited agent investigating a mysterious payload spotted by the FBI, I guess. The payload was a part of a major cover-up by the skiers. An intercepted transmission explains that Chief O'Leary, the leader of the ski resort, is tasked with ridding the mountain of snowboarders. This leaves me with a lot of questions like, why are snowboarders the targeted group? Are we supposed to believe every skier is in on the plan? If not, why are they permitted to ride down the mountain unencumbered? And if they are involved, why? Why not make it this small inside project where less of a word can get out? Clearly you have a leaky problem if the FBI is getting wind of it. Narrow the scope and keep it focused. I'm overthinking this obviously, but if you're going to go through the trouble of writing a story and getting voice actors, at least get your story straight.
Look at my new pony.
So if you didn't already figure it out by the character select screen, you'll discover quickly that Chief O'Leary is leading a charge to cover up the military operation to blow up the mountain in order to find evidence of aliens. I swear this game was borderline Shovelware I Dig territory until I learned about the aliens, and then it moved into a league of its own. So now Naya must explore the mountain and uncover the bombs the military is planning to use on the resort. However, much of the mountain is blocked off when the game begins. She has not proven herself to be able to handle all the mountain has to throw at her. In order to gain access to the rest of the mountain, Naya has to earn enough lift points. These points come from completing challenges for your FBI informant. In some cases, you'll be doing these tutorial-style missions where you learn how to play the game and handle your board. I was surprised by how good this game felt and how easy it was to do tricks. There are regular grab tricks and special tricks. Special tricks are achieved by pressing proper combinations of buttons, and they are broken up into downhill and half-pipe maneuvers. You start with some unlocked, but you can collect more by picking up tokens that are scattered around the mountain. The more you collect, the wackier the tricks get. Doing tricks gains you equipment points, which are separate from lift points. These can be considered an ongoing point total you gain from doing tricks down the mountain. The number never goes down, it only goes up as you land combos. Instead of spending your equipment points, you unlock new gear as you hit point milestones. Most of the gear is cosmetic, but you unlock new boards that have their own statistics at higher point milestones. Neither the boards or the outfits are as customizable as they sound. There are only a handful of outfits and boards in total, and they're fine. Nothing too wild or exciting, but fine. Customization is just not a priority in this game. Besides the tutorial missions and trick challenges, there are also some variety missions. In some cases, you'll be tipping outhouses to collect intel. In other cases, you'll be screwing with skiers. You chase down and knock over the snow patrol, 3 sticks in the mud who take pride in how uninteresting their brand of skiing is. You can also take the opportunity to send O'Leary's fresh roasted turkey luncheon flying down the side of a mountain. These different missions are where the game shows its goofier side. Dark Summit doesn't take itself seriously at all, and while it might make you think it wants to be SSX, it doesn't focus on combos or high scores all that much. It's there if you want to unlock new gear, of course, but it does feel like Dark Summit is trying to distinguish itself as its own thing. However, in its attempt to go down its own slope compared to other games, it fails to really establish what it wants to be. It starts to repeat itself after a while. There are a few missions that stand out for being different, but along with the outhouses, you'll also be tipping snowmen and no boarding signs. Every time you open a new ski lift to ascend the mountain a little bit higher, you get chased by the ski patrol. It never becomes outright boring, it just doesn't stray too far away from the formula it sets up early in the game. The one thing that kept the game interesting for me was the mountain itself. The game starts in a pretty standard downhill course that happens to be covered in toxic waste dumped by the military. As you climb the mountain, it gets more and more interesting. There is an Olympic-sized ski jump for pulling off huge tricks, helipads where you can jump over choppers, and the peak is broken into distinctly different paths. You can ride from the peak to the base of the mountain straight through, which wasn't in SSX until 3. I found a good bit of fun just boarding down the mountain and doing tricks. The game is put together enough that at least the core of it is fun. So what about the bombs? These unfortunately are pretty uninteresting. You travel to the right place to meet up with another spy who will lead you to a rail you need to grind to snag the bomb. The bombs don't really become an interesting piece of the puzzle until the very end of the game. Once you collect all the bombs on the mountain, you deliver them at the door of the military base on the mountain and boom, blow that ish sky high. Wait, didn't I mention aliens? In a nutshell, the aliens aspect is exactly what is wrong with Dark Summit. After you reach the peak of the mountain, you once again get chased by the ski patrol. You race down the center of the mountain until you reach a secret entrance to the alien half-pipe. It's far less interesting than it sounds. It's a gray tunnel of nothing. The game promises you aliens, it gives you an empty half-pipe. Cool. In spite of the fact that Dark Summit fails to establish itself among the myriad snowboarding games from the time, I still had a respectable time with it. The base mechanics of the game are fun enough that I had a pretty chill experience. This game by no means sets the world on fire, but it's also not bad enough that I consider it shovelware. It just kinda lives in the alien half-pipe of its own creation. It's trapped in the void it set up for itself. Have you played Dark Summit? Are you smitten with it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, leave a like, and if you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. My goal this week is to hit 69,420 subscribers, and anything helps. Lastly, if you want to support my channel directly, take a look at my Patreon at the link in the description. For $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos as well as some extra content you can't get anywhere else. I'd like to thank my higher tier patrons, Okayla, Conjo, Just Jessica, BBF and Bloxburg, Benjamin, Andrew Elmore, Andrew Donahoe, and Kaylee. See ya.